We race. Great start by Matteo Spiegel, who goes around the outside of the pole setter, Renaudin, who has missed the start. Almost certainly one of the drivers on the right side of the grid has jumped the start. We'll see who is under investigation as they go down into the pit hairpin for the first time. The CPB Sport Soddy Karts run 1, 3, 4 and 5. Renaudin, the pole setter, back to grid 2. Great start by Daniel Stell in the background as well. Not the best start for Giuliano Holtzam, who has run wide. There he is in the background. As we see one of the Kart Republics, Daniel Stell trying to drive down the inside. Renaudin in second place. Still as cool as ever. Renaudin in P2. As they come across the line, he's surrounded by his former teammates in the CPB Sport Soddy Karts. Spiegel P1 shooting in P3. Renaudin in second place. That's Tim Gerhards. What about Tim, the young Dutchman? 15 years of age from the Netherlands, second year of racing in KZ2. He's up in a P4 from Yevon, the Bat David. And 3 Germans, Felix Arnold, Daniel Stell, Shabinskis, Naitsev, Vincent Severukian, D'Alessandro, Tom Adams, great start from the Brit, up in a P13 ahead of Sandro Holtzam. Wojcik for Jastrzębski Racing, Zuko, Dialia, and Giuliano Holtzam. Cortez is out. Under attack is Renaudin from his former teammate Flint Shooting. The 2 Dutch drivers in 3 and 4. Here's Tim Gerhardt in triple 1. Being hounded now by Felix Arnold and Yevon David as well. So Renaudin in second place. First time out with the new DR Racing Car team. As the early race leader, Matteo Spiegel, looks over his right shoulder and then instantly goes defensive. Renaudin in the background of the Frenchman, his former teammate. He'll make the move, it will inevitably come, but the question is, can Spiegel respond down the inside into the chicane? Nicely done by Renaudin, and the DR card goes position 1. Defensive, there is Shooting, and Spiegel, it all kicks off between the teammates. Look at the CPB Sports Soddy Karts, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Felix Arnold, Daniel Stell, and Lucas Shabinskas on the charge as well. Lucas for NSL Racing in another Soddy Kart. Naitsev, good start from him. Meanwhile, Severukian has missed the start. There he is in the background in the racing line entry. Ahead of Vincent, who's made a great start, the Italian. Bruno Vincent, EKS Racing, 117. Started alongside Alessandro Zucco, who has just been passed by Tom Adams and Jakub Wojcik. Renaudin has got the race lead. So can Shooting and Gerhardt and Spiegel all respond. Renaudin coming across from the Tony Kart Racing team in 2022. Prior to that, he took success after success for the karts, which now hound him. There is a penalty for the 117 kart. We were just telling you about Bruno Vincent. A great start for him. It was too good. He has been penalised 5 seconds for a starting infringement. That drops the Italian down to 16th place. Tim almost runs into the back of Flint. 2 piloten van de Netherlands. The 2 drivers from the Netherlands in second and third almost come together. The 2 Dutch drivers. Spiegel, the early race leader in P4. Yevon the Bat from Colombo in Sri Lanka. There's super young talent up into P5. Head of the first of the Germans. Daniel Stell and Felix Arnold. Stell for Dahl Motorsport. Felix Arnold, the 102 Maranello kart. For SRP Racing, the team of Mike Sibecki and Fabian Federer, Sibecki Racing Parts team, linking up with the 2-time European champion, Fabian Federer. There's the first Maranello kart in the background there. Felix in P7. Severukian starting to recover. He's just on the fastest middle sector of the entire race. Severukian, first year racing in KZ2. A few national races, was racing at Sochi on a freezing cold day a couple of weekends ago. In the Russian Cup, Severukian up in a P9 ahead of Shabinskis, Sandro Holtzam. Renaudin, P1, under immense pressure though. Tim Gerhardt, what a performance for the Dutchman. 111 looks over his right shoulder. the CPB Sport Sodi Kart Sigma chassis. Gerhardt gets the run, but has got nowhere to go because Flint Shooting, his countryman, his teammate, is right in front of him. The early race leader, Matteo Spiegel, is behind. There's the fluorescent yellow Arai helmet of the Sri Lankan, Yevon David. Some races last year in KZ2, not long out of the junior category. Here's the driver from south of the subcontinent, the Sri Lankan from Colombo. Super talent. He's in position 5. The Sodi Karts 2, 3, 4 and 5. But the new recruit for the Danilo Rossi racing car team with the modern KK2 new homologation. It is in position 1. Renault Dane. In the background, Yevon David has just done 2 purple sectors and set a time of 46.487, the fastest driver on the circuit, as the 2 Dutch drivers. In fact, it was 1 Dutch driver and 1 French driver trading positions. Gerhardt and Spiegel, and now Yevon David is right there as well. There's still Arnold, the 2 Germans. Severukian has got by Naitsev and Holtsem in the background. And Severukian now with the fastest middle sector with a little bit of clean track and clear air ahead of him. Half race distance, Renault Dane, who has taken some spectacular victories in his career. We'll never forget the day at Kristianstad in 2000 and... Give me a moment. 16 it was, or was it 17? No, I'll say it was 2016 in the pouring rain. He got a 10-second penalty for a dropped front nose cone. It used to be a 10-second penalty. No problem, he won the race by 17 seconds. He also won the WSK Final Cup in 2018 on a freezing cold wet day at Castelletto di Branduzzo to win the WSK Final Cup. That was with the Sodi Kart team. The karts which are chasing him in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. The 2 teammates coming together in the background. There is Yevon David. Renault Dane, can he pull away from Shooting? Well, the gap's only 0.3 of a second. As Spiegel, Gerhardt and David have their own battle. Real shame for Bruno Fanzani in the background. Almost get a glimpse of the Italian running inside the top 10, but we apply the 5-second penalty and it drops him to 14th position. Head of the young Italian, Alessandro Zucco. Also in a DR racing kart, young Alessandro Wojciech, Diauria and Giuliano Holtzen Cortez is out. Well, the gap last night, time was exactly 0.3 of a second, 0.34. So pulls out, say, a couple of centimetres as Tim Gerhardt with a 46.453, the fastest driver on the circuit. But he's got nowhere to go. He's in position 4. Gerhardt's his 111. The Dutchman, 2nd year racing KZ2, 2nd year with the Sodi Kart team. Just skips over the bumps on the ripple strip. Gerhardt as they race down the hill, down through the chicane. That was Yevon David going through in position 5, 105. Here's the Sri Lankan, super performance from him. Trying to get by his 3 teammates and potentially Renault Dane. Gerhardt's the fastest driver on the circuit. Again, another fastest middle sector from Severukian, who's struggling to get by the 2 Germans. Daniel Stelf for Dor Motorsport and the Maranello kart of Felix Arnold. Sandro Holtsem is behind Artem, ahead of Maya Naitsev. Sherbinskas, Eduardo Di Alessandro, 2-time British champion Tom Adams on debut in WSK competition, acquitting himself well. He's next in line. Here's Tom in the 129 Maranello kart, as it's now kicking off between the teammates once again. Shooting, Gerhardt and Matteo Spiegel. That was Van Zaan going through, who's made a great run, but he's got a 5-second penalty. As now Renault Dane skips away. This is better from the French super champion. The gap was 0.3 of a second last time. It's blown out to 1.1 seconds. Renault Dane with 5 laps to go will surely win the pre-final, despite the fact that Gerhardt's in the background is the fastest driver on the circuit. But he's in that battle. He's got his teammate, the early race leader Matteo Spiegel, just in front of him. There is still fighting with Yevon David. They go side by side up the hill, and up the inside goes Felix Arnold, and the Maranello kart driver from Germany takes the place. Nicely done from Felix. May pick up another one here. The SRP Maranello, the new spec TM engine on that chassis as well. The red and yellow machine. It's the red and white and black machine of the 5-time world champion Danilo Rossi Racing Team, driven by the French Cup winner, the European champion, the WSK champion, and the new recruit for DR Racing in P1. The gap, 1.1 seconds. Spiegel in P2, and it's Gerhard shooting. Yevon David has been in position 5 virtually the whole race, despite the fact that he has passed and been passed by his teammates. Felix Arnold, there is still coming down. That's Stillhammer, the second German, in P7. Severukian in the racing line, Biralat 133. Sitting quite tall in that chassis. It is working for him though. He's got traffic though. He's got speed as well, but has to get past Stell and Felix Arnold, the 2 Germans, next. 3 laps to the checkered flag. The gap down to 0.9 of a second. Spiegel trying to go with Tim Gerhards, who wants second place for himself, but the teammates, to a degree, will work together. A real shame for Bruno Vanzani in the background. 5-second penalty drops the Italian down to 13th as the teammates trade positions. Matteo and Tim, second and third, now third and seconds. They fight back. Oh, wow. Paul Bizalion, watching on from pit lane, will be having a heart attack. The teammates fight, and with that, the gap, let me remind you, was 0.3 of a second. Then it went out to 1.1 seconds. Now out to 1.2. Oh, they touch again. They both run off the road. The 2 teammates, shades of Hamilton and Rosberg here at Lonato. And now Flint Schuring joins in the battle. There's Yevon David in the background. The teammates touched not once but twice. There's Tim saying, hey, Renaudin is getting away. He certainly is. He will win the pre-final. This is the penultimate lap. Felix Arnold, he's not from the CPB Sport Team. He's from SRP Maranello. He does not care what the teammates are doing. Is the yellow flag about to be displayed? We go full course yellow, in fact. Full course yellow for an incident, we believe it is between Alessandro Zugo and Tom Adams. No, it is fluid on the circuit. Well, we saw the 2 teammates running wide at that very corner a lap ago. You were probably thinking to yourself that they were touching a little bit too closely, but with fluid on the circuit, you saw the red and yellow flag displayed. That was the reason why. And we will finish this one under full course yellow. Renaudin will win Prefinal B for KZ2. Tom Adams and Alessandro Zucco with an incident and have dropped fluid onto the circuit, and therefore we finish under full course yellow. They're coming down into turn 1 and 2, over 130 k's an hour. And with radiator fluid, most likely, we don't want any of these cars going straight into the wall, which would have happened. That's smart officiating here. In fact, we're looking at Renaudin. No, it is just smoke. I was going to say, surely he's not dropping fluid. Oh, the Bodner engine's running rich, and it's going to take Renaudin, their new star driver, to victory here in Pre-Final B for KZ2. The red and yellow flag is waved. The full course yellow flag is waved, as is that checkered flag. And Renaudin for the Danilo Rossi Racing Car Team wins Pre-Final B in KZ2 of the WSK Champions Cup. The CPB Speed Sport Saudi karts come home in positions 2, 3, 4, and 6, because Felix Arnold has got by Yevon David. The Sri Lankan finishes in 6th place, just ahead of Severukian. Still, Holtzem and Lucas Shabinskas rounds out the 10. Full course yellow and the checkered flag. Renaudin, the Frenchman for the DR Racing Car Team, has taken victory. First time out for the new Modena KK2, new homologation engine for 2023 as well. Renaudin, the multiple champion, and also tries his hand at rallycross briefly as he gets pick up on the tyres coming back into pit lane. Renaudin wins it, the Frenchman first and second from Spiegel Gerhardt, ensuring for CPB Sports Bodycart, the Maranello of Arnold 5 from Jeven David Severugian, 3 Germans still Holzam and Lucas Schubinskas. We'll take a very short break here at Lonato, and we will be back with OK Pre-Final A. The WSK Champions Cup continues in just a moment.